Welcome to the current affairs section of this workshop. In this section, we will study the importance of current affairs, what to read in current affairs, how to read current affairs, how much time we should dedicate to the current affairs with the help of few examples. Importance of current affairs. In any competitive exam, you have to study current affairs. But there is a difference between the current affairs study for other exams and current affairs study for UPSC. In the UPSC prelims syllabus, UPSC directly mentioned that the current affairs of national and international importance are necessary for the UPSC preparation. In the UPSC prelims examination, there are almost 40% questions are directly or indirectly related to the current affairs. Without the knowledge of current affairs, you cannot attempt those questions. In the mains of UPSC, you need current affairs to write case studies, to substantiate your arguments. You need facts to mention and gain more marks, and also require anecdotes in explaining case studies of the ethics. In essays, you need current affairs. So, in the UPSC preparation, current affairs has a huge importance. You may watch or see many videos on YouTube which daily explain the daily current affairs of for various examination and based on particular topic and all. But UPSC never asks the objective details of particular event. UPSC may ask the geographical, strategic, historical importance of that news. With examples, I will explain to you. Recently, the Chenab Bridge was tested by the railways. That bridge is the highest railway bridge in the world. But UPSC never asked what is the length of that bridge, what is the height of that bridge. UPSC never asked how much wind it can withstand. It may be asked in some PSC examinations and all. But UPSC asked what is the strategic importance of the Chenab Bridge, ranges it connect, and which river it is on, all these details. We will now move to the part of sources of the current affairs. There are three main sources of current affairs reading. One is newspaper, second is a magazine, and third is the YouTube channels. YouTube channels like Cut the Clutter with Shekhar Gupta or Fareed Zakaria show on a CNN which covers the world news. In the newspaper section, we recommend The Hindu and Indian Express. You can read Mint for the economy related articles. And in the section of magazine, you can read Yojna, Kurukshetra or EPW. But most of the magazines are focused on one particular issue in depth. Study or reading of magazine should be with mindset of studying that particular topic for the essay or ethics perspective. We will now move to the part what to read in a newspaper. Newspaper has many news of national, international and local importance also. So we have to skip those local important news. We will focus on national important and international important articles, opinion, editorials, anecdotes and explained section. In the news article, we study what has happened, where it happened, when it happened and how it happened. But in UPSC, we need to understand the art of reading between the lines. We need to go in the background of that particular news item. So, is there any historical event mentioned? Is there any historical personality mentioned? Is there any new species found? Or any new species found in a particular new area? And we will also see, is there any act mentioned? Is there any constitutional amendment mentioned? All these details need to be seen in particular news item. Recently, Himalayan Sero found first time in Assam Valley. It was a new thing because Himalayan Sero normally found in the Tibetan highlands. Recently, one more species, that is a gharial, first time found after almost 50 years in a Brahmaputra belt. Then in this particular news, we need to study the background. What are the types of crocodiles? How many types of crocodiles found in India? What is the IUCN status of gharial? What ecological changes happen in the gharial to adopt in the muddy waters? We will need to study all these factors of information in particular news item. After news item, we will study the opinion section of the newspaper. In opinion section, various experts of various fields give their own opinion. They criticize any policy or they support any policy. They list pros and cons of that policy. They also give way forward in that particular topic. For example, C. Raja Mohan writes about international relations in Indian Express. He gives detailed article, he gives detailed information about India's policies, why India may have taken those steps and all that. Faizan Mustafa writes constitutional issues. He also gives us a detailed briefing of constitutional issues in world. What are the implications of those constitutional and legal changes? Along with Faizan Mustafa, C. Raja Mohan, Pratap Bhanu Mehta also write a very good article. His arguments are very useful in essay and writing ethics questions and case studies. After news item opinion, we will move to the part of editorials. Editorial is a section of newspaper in which editor of that particular newspaper gives his own opinion, and it is stand of that particular newspaper on involved issue or event. Reading editorials help us to form our own opinion, to form our own analysis towards that item. In the UPSC mains question paper, UPSC often asks, what do you think? What is your take on particular topic or particular issue and subject? After editorials, we will shift to the section of explained. In section of explained, many newspaper has started this section totally focused on the students of the current affairs. In explain section, they give basic details of the particular news item and also gives the background and comparative analysis. Explain section is very useful to get hold over a particular topic, to go into the depth of particular topic. After the explain section, we will see the anecdotes which comes on specific days like on Saturday, Friday and Sunday. In the anecdotes, we get the vital information needed for the essay and ethics. For example, the Porsche car accident happened in Pune. In that accident, we get to know many issues, like there is a very thin line between adult and a minor. There are many issues related to juvenile justice board. There are many issues regarding the parental responsibilities, the societal ethics and civic sense in India. How much time we should dedicate to reading current affairs? Not more than 1.5 hours daily. So if you are going to read two newspapers, then you will get 45 minutes each for one particular newspaper. Reading the Hindu in 45 minutes and Indian Express in 45 minutes is a very difficult task. To make it easy, you have to be aware of the UPSC syllabus. You should be remembering those UPSC syllabus while reading the newspapers. First scan all the newspaper, then try to connect the mentioned news with the UPSC syllabus. While reading the news, try to underline important news and facts and take note of it. While making note of current affairs, there are two ways. One is the handwritten notes and second is the making notes on your computer, tab, laptop, etc. But remember, ultimately you have to write your mails in your own handwriting. So making daily current affairs note in handwritten format will help you to increase your writing speed. While when you're making the notes on tab or laptop, it will save your time. Both have their own advantages and disadvantages. You can choose your own way. While making notes, there should be at least two notebooks. One notebook should cover fact sheet and second notebook should cover the issue-based detail analysis. In the first notebook of fact sheet, you can divide your you can divide your notebook in the 4 sections like GS 1, 2, 3 and 4. While reading newspapers daily, you can make a note of that particular GS paper in that particular section. It should be brief. It should not be in a pages. So one page should cover at least 2-3 items and the important facts related to that. You can also divide the page of notebook into two sections to cover more data in one newspaper. So it will make your notebook brief, and it will make easy for you to revise those news items and fact sheets during the mains examination. Remember, candidates, in the mains examination you have to write 2 papers daily, and it is very difficult to revise all the facts of those 2 papers in a day. In the second notebook of detailed analysis or detailed coverage of one particular issue, you have to mention the one syllabus topic in the initial stage and then make note of it. Second notebook can be of mix of all GS papers. So it will cover all the issues related to all the GS papers with main perspective. It is a very difficult task, and you will get over it with your own practice. So in the initial stages of preparation, we advise every student to make their own notes. You may require more time, but with practice, you will or you should reduce those time frame to the 1.5 hours. To make it easy for all the students, we have started our Competex Prelims channel. In that Competex Prelims channel, we provide daily prelim notes of particular day from newspapers like Indian Express and The Hindu. We also provide MCQs to solve based on the daily current affair. For mains, we have started Competex Mains Telegram channel. In that Telegram channel, we give you 3 questions to improve your writing practice. All the questions are related to current affairs. In the main channel, we also provide or we cover daily one issue with mains perspective. We also try to link that issue with a syllabus topic. In this section, we will see how UPSC directly asks questions on the current affairs. You can see on the screen question from the UPSC Prelims paper 2024, which was conducted on 16th June. Question number 40. Which one of the following was the latest inclusion in the Intangible Cultural Heritage List of UNESCO? First option is Chahu dance, second Durga Puja, third Garba dance, fourth is Kumbh Mela. As you can see on the screen, correct answer is a Garba dance. Garba dance is popularly from the Gujarat state of India. It is included in an Intangible Cultural Heritage List in December 2023. You should note that all the options are from the Intangible Cultural Heritage List of UNESCO. UNESCO is a UN body which has a main initiatives related to the cultural things, like the World Heritage Sites. UNESCO has identified many sites in India as a World Heritage Sites. You should note or you should go through all the sites of importance included in the World Heritage listing. UNESCO has also initiative like Creative City Network. Recently, Kozhikode and Gwalior are included in the Creative City Network of UNESCO. Kozhikode is the first Indian city which is included as a city of literature, whereas Gwalior is included as a city of music. Along with this question, we will see the 55 number question, which is also directly asked on the current affairs. Question number 55. Which of the following countries are well known as the 2 largest cocoa producers in the world? Option A is Algeria and Morocco. Option B is Botswana and Namibia. Option 3 is Ivory Coast and Ghana. And option D is Madagascar and Mozambique. This question is also from current affairs. This decrease in cocoa production was in news in last 2-3 months. A decrease in cocoa production led to the increase in chocolate prices all over the world. Correct answer of this question is option C, Ivory Coast and Ghana. Ivory Coast and Ghana produce almost 60% of the cocoa production. But various factors lead to the decrease in production consecutively for last 2-3 years. What are the reasons behind the decrease in production? Climate change is the main factor. Increased in a temperature led to the decrease in humidity which has hampered the cocoa production. Also, the race for gold mining has also shifted the workforce from cocoa production to the gold mining. Farmers also disincentivized due to reduced production. All these reasons combined to the decreased production of the cocoa in the Ivory Coast and Ghana. That's why UPSC asked directly which two countries are the largest producer of. As we have seen how current affairs questions are asked in a prelims test. Now we will see how current affairs is relevant for the mains and how mains questions are directly asked from the current affairs section. This is the mains 2023 GS3 question. What is the main task of India's third moon mission which could not be achieved in its earlier mission? List the countries that have achieved this task. Introduce the subsystems in the spacecraft launch and explain the role of the Virtual Launch Control Center at the Vikram Sarabhai Space Center, which contributed to the successful launch from Sriharikota. In this question, there are almost 4 parts or the 4 different things UPSC has asked. It is completely relevant to the current affairs and directly asked from. While writing the introduction of this question, we have mentioned the date of the India's third moon mission, and the most primary task it achieved is soft landing, which could not be achieved or accomplished in the Chandrayaan-2. In the body part, we have divided the answer in the main tasks and achievement, countries achieving soft landing, subsistence in the Chandrayaan-3, and role of Virtual Launch Control Center. In the conclusion part, we have mentioned that Chandrayaan-3 represents a significant milestone in India's lunar exploration efforts. Its success would place India alongside the USA, Russia, and China in achieving soft landing, contributing to the broader goals of scientific discovery and technological advancement. After this mission, India has also launched its Aditya L1 solar exploration mission. India is also planning to launch its Gaganyaan. It will be the manned space mission. India is collaborating with the various space agencies of United States of America, Japan, and Russia to get to know about the manned space missions. China, along with India, is also in this space race. ISRO is also exploring various steps to include private sector in the space program of India. This present government also believes that the inclusion of private sector will increase the innovation in the space sector research. So, through this example, we have studied how current affairs is directly relevant to the mains. Along with this, in many questions of mains paper, we see use of current affair facts, analysis, and anecdotes to substantiate the answers of GS paper.